Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new Star Wars TV shows, their new Star Wars movies in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm, and more to come. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do know that they are trying their absolute best to really bring Star Wars back to its roots, to really go back to the way it was before 2012, before Disney took over Lucasfilm, and before Kathleen Kennedy became the president of Lucasfilm and taking charge of all things Star Wars. So here we are in a scenario where a lot of work is being done by George, John, and Dave. I think that Jon Favreau is doing an excellent job so far, with The Mandalorian. We're going to see more of Dave Filoni's work with The Mandalorian very soon. So get prepped and excited for that, especially everything there is to do with Ahsoka Tano and more. So things really are looking great on the horizon here with a handful of shows and movies in the works. So on top of all of this, what's really pretty much, I guess you could say, unfortunate has all to do with actor Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. Now, a lot of people out there, love him or hate him, but a lot of people out there love the character of Anakin. A lot of people criticized Hayden Christensen's acting in the prequel trilogy, and I will admit, there were times in those movies where the dialogue was very clunky, and it just felt like it was just pure cringe. But when we go ahead and take a look at what's going on, alright, what's really intriguing is that with the Skywalker saga now over, both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek have been developing their new Star Wars universe and trilogy of movies. However, it's explained that during the production of Episode 9, many problems happened behind the scenes, including the cancellation of Hayden Christensen returning as Anakin Skywalker in the newest film at the time. Now, further, it's described that actor Hayden Christensen was let go as Anakin Skywalker by Kathleen Kennedy because Kennedy believed that Hayden was doing a very poor job acting as Anakin in the movie and feared that he would have wrecked the entire film. Not just that, but Kennedy let go of Hayden as Anakin because she feared that Episode 9 would turn into a controversial movie like Episodes 1 and 2 of the prequel trilogy era. So let's stop right there for a second. One of the main reasons as to why Hayden was let go from Episode 9 is because Kathleen Kennedy was not impressed with the way that he was actually acting. Do I believe that Hayden's acting was the way how it was in the prequels? I highly doubt that. This guy, if you have watched his later movies, has obviously advanced as an actor, and I have no doubt in my mind that Hayden would have had a massive improvement under J.J. Abrams and George Lucas this time. So, obviously Kathleen Kennedy, alright, the other reason as to letting him go from this massive film that could have had a far larger success than what was received back in December, is that, well, Hayden was let go because Kathleen Kennedy was pretty much reluctant or very much scared that this would turn into another Episode 1/2 situation where, or should I say 2 and 3, mind you, not 1 and 2. 2 and 3, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith with the dialogue. So my correction on that, not Episode 1 and 2. The thing is about all of this is that obviously fans have mixed feelings on the prequel trilogy. Some fans would say that his acting was horrible entirely. Other fans would say that his acting was horrible on and off. I, however, think that Hayden had a great balance in the Revenge of the Sith film. I feel that he had a really rough start in Attack of the Clones, I will admit. His acting was on and off there. Revenge of the Sith, I gotta say, it was pretty well done. There were just a couple of scenes in there that made me say that really needed a lot more work and could have been well improved by George. There was no reason for that type of dialogue. So I will admit that. So Episodes 2 and 3, Kathleen Kennedy feared that kind of situation. 2 and 3 repeating themselves with Hayden's acting. So moving on from that, further it's described that, well, Hayden had done scenes as Anakin in the second and third acts of the movie in order to have scenes with Rey, Luke, and Ben Solo and others in the film, while George Lucas was working on the movie with J.J. Abrams. Now further, it's said that one of Hayden's scenes were dissected after he was let go from the movie in which Kennedy used his voice from a scene where Anakin and Rey originally met in the netherworld of the Force. Now that voice of Hayden as Anakin was used in the final cut of the movie, and that originally Kennedy didn't even want to include Hayden's voice in the movie until Abrams convinced her to do so. So that's a big deal, the fact that Hayden's voice in the actual film was actually taken from an already existing scene that we have yet to see either, on the Blu-ray edition or on Disney+. So like I've said before in the past, it's great that Hayden is coming back under George, John, and Dave's wing, to come back into the Kenobi show, into The Mandalorian Season 4, and other Star Wars projects out there. Hayden's got a lot of work ahead of him, and I'm glad about that. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.